Last week I made a big mistake, but honestly it was the lesson I needed. Despite that, I still managed to finish the week in profit, and I genuinely feel that lesson helped me a lot. Right now the account balance is sitting at $7,173, and this week I want to continue exactly how I ended the last week, keeping the same momentum and discipline. No FOMO, just focusing on taking only the highest quality setups. If you don't know what I'm talking about, 6 weeks ago I started this series where I'm trying to grow a real personal $5,000 account to $10,000, and I'm documenting everything. This right here is the episode number 6, and that being said, let's see how this week plays out. Alright, so I am done for today. It was a pretty volatile Monday. I didn't take any setups, but there were a lot of opportunities that I will discuss about now. So on US 30, on the 1 hour, price liquidated this important low over here, and look at all of these confluences. Beautiful H1 sweep, H1 demand, and H4 plus daily fair value gap. We literally had all of the confluences. The 5 minute, the volume looked great as well, but the structure didn't help us. Okay, it only broke structure late in the session, and it was too late because the move has already happened. Next up on gold, over here price liquidated this high, gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it. On the 5 minute, it gave a shift over here, but because it wasn't an aggressive shift, I didn't enter on this VVG because it wasn't an A+ setup. And either way, I think that it wouldn't have been a TP, maybe a break-even trade. Next up on NASDAQ, price liquidated this low here. We have a beautiful H1 sweep confluence plus an H1 VVG. And on the 5 minute only now, we can see that price took off, but it is too late. And to be honest, let's do a quick simulation. So we have this first VVG here. A second VVG maybe would be formed over here after this candle. Even if we would have a VVG here, let's say, and entry would be right here, stop loss would be down here, TP would be past the opposite liquidity level. So either way, it would be invalid, but it's pointless because this VVG is closed and it's 7 p.m. Okay. Next up on GU, price liquidated the high, had a beautiful H1 sweep on it, but on the 5 minute, it failed to give me a shift. Same story on euro dollar, same story on GJ, and on USHF price stayed in between. That's why I already deleted the drawing. So a pretty active day. I'm happy with the volume. It's good that the week started this way. And if it continues like this, I'm sure that will have more opportunities than last week. And I am done for today as well. It is Tuesday now, 18 minutes past 7 p.m. And today was another active day with 2 very beautiful opportunities that I decided to not take. And I will show you exactly why right now. On USHF, on the 1 hour, we have this valid low, this valid high. The high was liquidated and price gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it. Therefore, on the 5 minute, I waited for a bearish shift that came in hot right here, looking very good. Beautiful liquidation beforehand, very good looking bearish volume, and look at the VVGs, they were looking great, but the BOS wasn't there. We can see that we had no closure below this wick, and because of that, I didn't enter on the second VVG. Besides this, on NASDAQ, on the 1 hour, price liquidated this high here. It entered this H1 plus H4 fair value gap. And then on the 5 minute, I waited for a shift that came in very beautifully right here. Once again, very good looking bearish volume, very good looking VVGs. Entry should have been on the second VVG. However, I didn't enter because the TP would have been slightly below this liquidity level. Okay, and that goes against my plan. I know this most likely would have been a beautiful TP, but it is very important to stick to the rules. And yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day, a day with good volume. I'm sure that there will be more opportunities, most likely that I will also execute later this week. And yeah, real quick, I want to show you that the balance is at $7,173 still. Just wanted to show you guys to see that I didn't execute any new trades. These are the settings. And yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. It is Wednesday now and the stock exchange just opened. And right now I am focused on euro dollar because it could present a pretty beautiful opportunity. On the 1 hour, it liquidated this valid low over here, gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it. And it also reacted to this H1, H4 plus daily fair value gap. Let me show you what I'm talking about on the H4 over here. And also on the daily over here. I didn't show you on the 1 hour because it's too much to scroll and there's no point. And now on the 5 minute, I am waiting for a bullish shift. We also have this 5 minute liquidation, which is a good added confluence. I also like the bullish volume over here. It's looking pretty good. However, the structure isn't really helping. Right now, I would like to see a second leg and then a break of that second leg. And if we get that, we could get involved. Besides that, everything else is in between right now. USHEF is in between, NASDAQ in between, gold in between, but might liquidate the high pretty soon. Same story with US 30. GU is in between and GJ also in between. Over here, yes, I know we do have this very high that was liquidated, but due to the fact that price already gave a setup from that high pre-open, I looked left and I identified the new high over there. Unfortunately, or thankfully, I had no setups today either. The reason I say thankfully is because over here on USHEF, I think I avoided a loss. On the 1 hour, price liquidated a pretty important level. Let me show you real quick the level I am talking about. It's this very high over here. It gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it, and then on the 5 minute I waited for the aggressive shift that came in right here with this body closing below. VVGs were looking pretty good, the volume was looking pretty good. However, I didn't take this setup because the TP would have been past the opposite liquidity level. And looking at things right now, I think there's a bigger chance for price to go higher and liquidate the high where the stop loss would be than going towards the TP. So over here, we could say that we avoided a loss by sticking to the rules. And besides this, I had another potential here on euro dollar. On the 1 hour, we already know liquidated this low, gave a beautiful H1 sweep. We already know the confluences. On the 5 minute, I waited for the shift that came in late during the session. Over here, volume looking good. VVGs were looking good as well. However, I didn't enter this trade because it was on the 3rd leg, and that for me is just too late. And besides, over here, the TP would also be past the opposite liquidity level. Okay, and to be honest, this could also be a second loss dodged, because by the looks of it, I think it's a much bigger chance for price to continue lower and liquidate this low where the stop loss would have been than reversing impulsively towards the TP. Okay, so yeah, that was it for today. I must admit, it is pretty frustrating that there's a lot less opportunities than usual. I must say that usually I have an average of 1 trade per day with this day trading strategy, but lately that's not been the case. I know I started this challenge during a rough period, but I'm not backing down. I will continue and I will show you guys the progress, literally how it is. Okay, full transparency, I will continue. However, I wanted to let you know that instead of looking for entries on the 5 minute to speed up the process, I decided that instead I would look for entries still on the 5 minutes, same as I did so far, but I will start looking during the London session for potential entries as well. And tomorrow will be the first day where I will try this. And of course, if I take a setup, I will immediately let you guys know. Okay, besides this, I want to mention during periods like this, it is so crucial to stay true to your plan, to stay disciplined and stay selective. Because I know it's very tempting whenever you don't have setups days in a row, it's very tempting to just get in the markets, enter a trade that isn't looking so good just for the sake of being in the trade. And trust me, that right there is a huge mistake a lot of traders make during a period like this. That's literally what I just talked about in my community as well after ending today's session. And on that note, of course, if you want to apply for it, it is the first link down below. You will be able to work with me one-on-one, gain access to my private community and also to the strategies I am trading and also to all the setups I am taking. Okay, and yeah, that's the plan. We need to keep at it and I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm back with the final trading day of this week. I know it is Thursday, but tomorrow I won't trade at all because I'm ahead to Dubai for a 1 week vacay, and tomorrow I'm gonna be on the way there and I won't be able to trade. So therefore this right here will be the final day of this week, and it started pretty promising. The stock exchange opened 25 minutes ago and the volume looks a lot better than yesterday, and I already had some potentials. Over here on USHEF, price liquidated this low. It entered this H1 demand, reacted beautifully to it, but on the 5 minute it gave a weak shift. And even if it would have closed above this high, I wouldn't have entered because 1, the TP would have been past the opposite liquidity level, and 2, this VVG right here was just too small for me. Okay, next up on GU, on the 1 hour, price liquidated this high, entered this H1 plus daily supply, reacted from it beautifully, gave an aggressive shift right here pre-open. But again, right here, I didn't enter because I saw 4 fair value gaps. Okay, right at the opening, and that told me that the move most likely already happened and there's no point for me to try and get involved here. Next up on euro dollar, over here things were looking extremely good. So this high was liquidated, price gave a beautiful H1 sweep confluence on it as well, as we can see. And besides this, we also had an H1 plus H4 plus daily fair value gap confluence. On the 5 minute, we also had a liquidation followed by an aggressive shift right here with full body closure. However, over here, if I wanted to enter on the second VVG, the TP would have been past the opposite liquidity level, and that for me is not an A+ setup. Besides, over here on US 30, price liquidated this low and it entered this H4 demand, and we can see it's going deep inside the H4 demand, which isn't ideal. I'm also waiting to see whether it will give me a beautiful H1 sweep confluence, but I doubt, because in 3 minutes it's going to be 5 p.m. and I doubt that price will climb back up and close above this low. On the 5 minute, either way, we are looking for a bullish shift. Okay, same story on Nasdaq as well, looking for a bullish shift. Over here on the 1 hour, price liquidated this low. On the 1 hour, no confluences, neither on the 4 hour, neither on the daily. So over here, the only hope is for price to close above this low, and then we will have a higher time frame confluence as well. On gold, price is in between because it liquidated this high over here, I know, but due to the fact that it already gave a setup from that high pre-open, I looked left and I identified my new high. And lastly, we arrive at GJ that is currently in between. Okay, so yeah, for now, this is pretty much it. I will, as always, keep you guys updated. It is almost 7 p.m. and it seems that we won't have a setup today either. I know it is frustrating, but there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. I probably chose the worst period for this 5K series, but I won't back down. I will continue and I will document everything as I did so far, and hopefully soon we'll be able to reach the target. Over here on GJ, price liquidated the low, entered an H1 VVG, but on the 5 minute, we can see that it just had no strength to give me the aggressive shifts. On US 30, it liquidated this low. I was waiting for the sweep to be confirmed now at 7 p.m., but it's pointless because on the 5 minute, the structure isn't helping at all. And lastly, on Nasdaq, same exact story as on US 30, liquidated a low. Over here, we also have an H4 VVG confluence, but on the 5 minute, again, the structure isn't helping. And on the other pairs, I already deleted everything because there's nothing on these pairs to look at. Look at the price section, it was super boring. The volume was good only at the beginning of the session. After that, it just slowed down completely. And yeah, that was pretty much it for today. It was a boring week overall. That's the best word that describes it. And next week, I will take a break from this challenge because I will be in Dubai. And I will enjoy a 1 week vacay there, and I will only swing trade. I won't day trade at all to have more time to do activities out there. But after I come back from the vacay, I will resume the challenge and I will continue documenting everything as I did so far. And my goal is to speed up the process and hopefully get to the target by December. That's my plan. And to do that, I will start looking for opportunities during the London session as well. And hopefully things will go well and we'll be able to get there in the upcoming weeks. And if I will then do the giveaway as promised as well. So make sure you guys are subscribed, click the notification bell to get notified whenever I will upload the next episode. Until the next one, if you guys want to see a video where I talk about my journey as a trader from start to the present moment, feel free to watch the video that will pop on the screen now. And that being said, I want to wish you all the best and take care.